So like most shows aren't that bad. They might not be the greatest, but most shows aren't bad. So that's why I was always a TV show guy. But now with these limited series, bro, it's turned into the new movies, and I'm like, I'm wasting my time. Like I watched something over the summer, that Hunting Wives limited series, trash, trash, triggity trash. I mean, really bad. It was too weird for me. They had too much going on. This series, great, great potential. Is I'm buying in. I want to know. Like I need to hear them. I need to see the mystery. I need to see the ending. Well, yeah, it falls off the cliff. The ending was confusing as hell. Oh, look at that! I'm listening to Cardi right now. The ending, it felt like they ran out of money and ran out of time. You know what I'm saying? And then watch, people are gonna clamor for a second season. But a limited series is just that. It's supposed to be just for the time being, right? It's supposed to be short-lived, a short-lived thing, and for the most part, everything is supposed to come together at the end. And everything does not come together at the end. Since I know this show starts off in Canada, when I'm watching this show looks like, especially when the teens are like finally rebelling against the workers at this academy, because yeah, these kids are trying to break out of this like reform school, and they're trying to figure out ways to get out finally, because what we learn is that like, yo, they have mad shady practices on how they recruit, how they get these kids. I told you last episode that they pretty much kidnap these kids, right? um and it's like very dramatic. But then what happens is these kids become wards of the state, and then like the parents lose all rights to these children, and it's just weird. Like all this like weird bad stuff is happening. Nobody's coming to check on these kids for real. But like since this show, I know it's a Canadian show by origin. When these teens are like doing things like against the staff, it looks like an episode of Degrassi. Like this just feels like, it feels like an episode of Degrassi. Like I mean, maybe with some maybe mature looking kids, but like, yeah, it gives like Degrassi vibes. Um, the problem with the show, ultimately though, if I had the reason why it falls off a cliff is that no one is really held accountable for the school doing these heinous things. Lila, the one of the main girls, it seems like she just accepts defeat, even though there's like, it seems like they've affected the woman that created the school. Her name is Evelyn. It's like they defeat Evelyn. You know what I mean? Like they get her out of here. You know what I'm saying? But like the girl Lila, it seems like she, I think she was consumed with her guilt, and I think the lady Evelyn kind of filled her head with some like false memories of some trauma that this girl went through. This girl went through something with her sister, and her sister passes away in front of her, and like we can't even. And the thing is, because they're under all this different like, I want to say drugs or whatever, they're under the influence of all these different substances. It becomes like when you're watching the show, it's hard to understand who's a reliable narrator, who has a reliable point of view and perspective, and who is under the influence. And so like when it comes to Lila and talking about her trauma, it's a, you're still kind of wondering like, well, what really happened? I would say what really happened is what she told her friend Abby, and basically like her sister kind of just struggled, and like she did try to help her sister, but like Evelyn is filling her head with these memories that make her feel like she just let her die, and I don't necessarily think that was the case. But yeah, she's one of the main characters. She's one of the ones that led the revolt overall, and by the end she just kind of gives up, and I thought that was weak. um Abby, like there's this weird scene at the very end where like she finds the car that the cop leaves for her, and then it looks like the cop is like about to leave with the baby because the cop's wife has a baby, and it looks like, oh, they're about to leave, but then they cut over and like she's still at the house. So then it's like it's confusing. It's like, well, what actually happened? Like did Abby even leave? Did anybody chase her down in the car like they showed? I don't even know. I don't. Did Evelyn end up living? I bet you it's the noise is gonna be loud enough. They're gonna force probably a second season, and hopefully that is the end. But like the way that ended, I feel like they left a lot of things on the table. They had a whole origin story that we didn't really get to touch on. Um, even just like yeah, they didn't show enough of the people like and how they fully transformed and turned into these like worshipers. Like we kind of see it a little bit. We see, you know, basically Tall Pines Academy starts basically from a cult. And this lady, she was like the second in command and she like they take the cult leader out and like she becomes like the new cult leader. But like it's just weird. It's just weird. There's a lot of holes in the plot. And even like just how things are going down, you're like you're watching and it makes you start to hate watch it and like you start to nitpick and criticize every little thing. So that's how that show kind of goes.